Hey guys, Winshire here. In my previous video I detailed the best weapons in the game post-patch, and I mentioned the support class is pretty useless right now. That was a little quick to jump to that conclusion. This game never ceases to amaze me how I always have to say one thing and then reanalyze that and then maybe recount that statement. So I'm recounting that statement now, and I want to demonstrate the support class in particular here. This is the RPK with and without a grip. I'm having to get away from my grip mentality, throwing grips on everything, because again, they've really nerfed the grip post-patch. You really kind of want to get away from it on a lot of weapons. Not every weapon, it varies from weapon to weapon. But the RPK in particular is going to be probably my support class weapon of choice, obviously because of its extended MAD capability now. That is an oversight on DICE's behalf, but as slow as they put out patches now, who knows how long it'll be before we get another patch for the patch. So it might be 3 months, so I'll be running that gun now that has 200 rounds. I don't think it's overpowered though. I still lose, head-to-head engagements most of the time, against assault class weapons or maybe engineer class weapons. So it's not overpowered. You just have to know how to use it correctly. But having those 200 rounds certainly gives it an edge over the M27, which I'm showing you here with and without a grip. As you see, all these spreads are fairly comparable, but the M27 does have noticeably higher recoil than the RPK, but that's because it has a higher fire rate, whereas the RPK suffers, with the slow fire rate. It's almost useless at close range against any other weapon. So again, that's a big hindrance of the RPK. Now the QBB right here, this weapon I think you still want to run a grip on because it has the option for heavy barrel. Whenever you're running a grip, you kind of want to have a heavy barrel to offset that aimed accuracy penalty, because you get an accuracy buff by having a heavy barrel. So they kind of offset each other, and it reduces your horizontal recoil. So you can see here with the grip and heavy barrel that this pattern is just a little less side to side, a little bit tighter grouping. And I think as a run and gun type of gun, the QBB really needs that grip heavy barrel combination. So I showed those 3 types of weapons because that to me is kind of the particulars of the run and gun support class style, which is kind of what I am right now. And as you can see here, the RPK, even without the bipod deployed, it still does pretty good, in terms of its hit detection and its spread. It can still hold its own without having that bipod deployed. Whereas where I've found it, basically every other support class LMG, like the big boys, the M60, the M249, or M24B, all those guns are almost useless without having that bipod deployed. So I think the RPK offers the best combination of the two, because whenever you put the bipod out on this weapon, it is just like any LMG, it's devastating. But I like having that flexibility, being able to redeploy from a bipod setup and be able to not worry about having to put a guy down without the bipod out. So this I think the RPK is the best combination of both a run and gun style gameplay like me, and then also holding down corridors when you need to. Like a situation like Grand Bazaar here, tons of alleyways and tunnels, and you'll just see me just destroy or obliterate teams. But right here again, I knew enemies would be coming at my flank, so I could quickly pull up that bipod, address the enemies at my flank, and then reassess threats as I need. So again, just like any LMG, it works best burst firing it when you don't have a bipod deployed. That's what the mentality you kind of have to get in with the new LMGs post-patch, is just burst fire, with the exception of when you have the bipod deployed. And also, again, the Magnum here, you'll see some kills with it, but that is a pretty good sidearm of choice. It's obviously the highest damage sidearm, but I find like if I don't get that first hit on the enemy, it lets me down quite a bit. So I may be going back to the MP443 just to have those 20 round clips and everything. Again here, without the bipod deployed, you can kind of go full auto sometimes at these closer ranges with the RPK, and it does pretty good. I mean, it just took out 3 guys there with relative ease. But situations like this is where you can really, pull out. I mean, rather than just try to go full auto on these guys, I'm going to take the time to put the bipod out. And I found out that, even if I'm going head-to-head against 2 enemies at once, if I jump down to lay prone, take the time to pull out the bipod, more often than not, I can still take on 2 guys while I'm doing all that after I deploy the bipod. That's how quick you can put people down with the bipod. That was funny at the end, that guy sticking his head up. But right here, again, position Bravo, I basically can secure a position hands down, single-handedly by myself with the bipod deployed. And, that's something I haven't really done in the past because I always talk trash on bipods, but now I'm kind of having to adapt to the new gameplay style of Battlefield 3 and use, weapons how they're designed to be used in situations that you need them. So this is again how you kind of have to think in this game. Use your weapon strengths to your advantage. Look how I just obliterate, I don't know, half a dozen guys here in just a few seconds. So, I mean, this is how you kind of use these weapons in this game, and how you win in this game if you use your weapon's strengths to your advantage, and you use tactics. And I mean, look, I basically secured this position just by myself, or have my teammates helping my teammates cover these corridors. Because I mean, let's face it, Grand Bazaar is very difficult when you have just floods of enemies coming down those hallways. Let's see, I'm trying to think what this clip is here. Okay, I believe this is, this is just to start, the very first position here on Operation Metro. This sets the tone for the rest of the match here. I ran up here by myself, single-handedly secured the position, or at least destroyed a considerable amount of enemies that were flooding in. People flood into Bravo. So I met the resistance right there, stopped it in its tracks. My teammate came up with me and pushed up, and this just sets the tone for the rest of the match. So basically now the rest of the match, we got this position secured, and you know how difficult it is to get that back in Operation Metro. So again, having that capability to rush a position, throw out the bipod, shut the enemy down, stop them at the door, and then allow your team to push up with you is a capability of a support class. Because having those 200 rounds allows you to address a lot of enemies at once. So we obviously go on to win this match, and I'll save you the 45-minute match after that. I just want to kind of demonstrate that. Now, this last clip I want to talk about is, again, just the bipod. You'll see that I think it killed like 15 guys here at the end, but pretty much just spawn camping them. But again, you can put the bipod up on any kind of railing like this, take out snipers, it doesn't matter. But of course, you want to watch out. The number one threat when you got a bipod out is the M320 grenade launcher, the assault class. I don't know how many times I get taken out by that. And that's like the quickest way to eliminate somebody encamped on a bipod is just shoot a grenade at them. Or snipe them, but snipers even have a hard time taking me out because once I see their little glimmering scope, I start throwing bullets down range. The suppressive fire of this weapon just shuts down a sniper's capability to get any shots on range. And they're pretty much down after that. They just don't stand a chance. But the M320 is your greatest threat assessment. You need to watch out for guys with assault class weapons shooting those at you because you really don't survive them when they hit you. It's kind of like the mortar. Whenever a guy with the mortar hits you with another mortar, it's like a one-shot kill. It's kind of how it is with a bipod. But here you can just see the range of this weapon. No recoil at all. Incredibly strong. Having those 200 rounds and the quick reload is a great capability. Again, people argue that it's kind of noobish, it's a glitch, this and that. Again, I would recommend you try it and see for yourself that this gun is not overpowered in any way. I mean, I don't know how many times. I mean, I'm just showing you the good clips here. There's a lot of clips, guys, where I just go up against guys and I just throw the controller up in the air, and I just say to myself, really, did I just really lose that engagement? And time and time again, I find myself surprised, like how inconsistent sometimes things can go your way. I'm like, I don't know. Again, short range, his fire rate, this gun is just subpar, grossly outgunned, against assault class weapons or carbines. Multiple enemies at short range, even with pistols will take you out. So I mean, again, it's knowing the limitations of your weapon, using it where it's strong. Deploying a bipod, I think, is hands down much better than the grip now with this gun. Again, the only weapon I would recommend with support class guns with the grip would be the MG36 or the QBB 95. Other than that, I'm going to say grip for, or maybe the M27 as well, I guess. Other than that, I'm going to say grip for, or a bipod for everything else. Support class is not a useless class. I'll show, my next video is going to be me playing in a clan match, and I just get a ridiculous amount of kills with this gun. Even though we lose the match, it was a good match nonetheless. But again, this gun is a tide changer if you know what situations to use it in appropriately. Look at these range kills right here. Just shutting them down left and right. Just lay it down. I mean, even if you're not getting those kills, the suppressive fire of these weapons is formidable. And yeah, the enemies is not going to be able to see what you're doing or where to go or anything like that, so they're pretty much just running into walls at that point. But that is the RPK, the post-patch Russian support class weapon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like it, subscribe if it helped you out. Give this weapon a shot, excuse me. And make sure you put the bipod on it, and just be patient with the bipod, because in the right situations, it will turn the tide of the entire match in just a few short moments. Thanks for watching again, and I'll have more to come.